overseas. But authorities say they're in isolation and contact tracing is underway. New Zealand's total tally stands at 1,169 cases and 22 deaths. So what can Filipinos learn from New Zealand's effective COVID-19 response? We find out from Paulo Garcia. He is the only Filipino member of parliament, and he joins us now live at 1:10 in the morning from Wellington, New Zealand. MP Paulo, great to have you with us on the program.
Rico, it's a pleasure to be with you this evening.
So, MP Paulo, walk us through the process. How did New Zealand contain the coronavirus?
It will be good to remember that New Zealand is an island country, very isolated at the bottom of the world. And our population density is very, very low. So, for example, in Wellington, 900 persons per square kilometer is our population density. Compared to Manila, it's 42,000 plus persons per square kilometer. So you can imagine the density is vastly different. So the virus will have to jump a much further distance to get to other people. No, so contamination is a little less. It's a little more difficult.
But MP Paulo, a lot of people are praising the Prime Minister Ardern for acting swiftly to contain this virus.
So the Prime Minister was the face of uniting New Zealand in terms of asking people to self-isolate. And people, were 5 million people, took that to heart and did as we were told. So we were in lockdown for 4 weeks, complete total lockdown, no food deliveries. You can only go out to go to the grocery, and everything was done very carefully with social distancing. So the Prime Minister would give daily accounts of what was happening, which kept everyone informed. And so everyone followed that strict isolation rule. And I think that's the big difference with many countries. The country shut down very quickly, and people took it upon themselves to self-isolate.
4 weeks of lockdown. What can the Philippines learn from New Zealand's COVID-19 response, MP Paulo?
I think it has to be all based on an efficient testing and contact tracing regime. That's one. The second one is that people have to take it upon themselves to follow the isolation and distancing rules. Now, that said, it's not as easy in the Philippines because of the population density. But it is self-responsibility not to break the rules.
Everyone has to be held accountable, especially during this health crisis. Not only the Philippines, but in New Zealand and around the world. Currently, we are really very proud of you, MP Paulo, for being the first Filipino Kiwi to become a member of parliament. Share with us, what has the journey been like?
It's been a big adventure, really. I never really I didn't go to New Zealand to become an MP. I am very much like an ordinary migrant Filipino who wanted to bring his family to live in a better place. And I worked hard and I faced the challenges that many Filipinos around the world face when they leave their countries. We have to break barriers. We have to work very hard. We have to control our emotions and ourselves. We do everything for our children, our our wives. In my case, I've been married for 28 years.
So-
and for my 4 daughters.
So, as being sworn in for a year now, you've been a member of parliament for a year now, what would you like to achieve as an MP and as a Filipino in parliament?
Okay, I think you can't take the Filipino out of this MP.
Yes.
So what I really want to try to accomplish is to build such good, strong relationships within the New Zealand Parliament and among my colleagues, so that when it is time for me to go, there will be such a need for another Filipino to step in and carry on with that Filipino presence, Kiwi Filipino presence in the New Zealand Parliament. I think that representation is very important for the stability of the Filipino migrant community in New Zealand.
And briefly, MP Paulo, before we wrap up this interview, a final word for our kababayans who are watching us right now in New Zealand, here in the Philippines, and worldwide.
I think we should be true to ourselves, and we have to hang on to our faith, and we have to maintain our love for our families, that we maintain our faith, that we spread that love and that faith and share it with others through our work, through the communities that we circulate in, through our friends and the people that we meet. So we bring ourselves, our Filipino work ethic, our family ethic, our faith into the worlds that we go into and live in.
Thank you very much for joining us on The Final Word. Paulo Garcia, the first Filipino Kiwi to become a member of parliament in New Zealand. And coming up on The Final Word, renowned choirs lend their voices to uplift the world. Members of Sing Around the Globe join us live in a bit. Stay tuned to CNN Philippines, news you can trust.